Good morning, everyone. Welcome to this Wednesday episode of Marc Your Day. Our theme for today, courage, love, hope. It will be a great Wednesday up ahead. Let's start it right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, everyone, to those who tuned in early. Welcome to our friends from Villa Alfredo. I'd like to say hi to our first attendee today, Brother Mel Chan and Ella Nunez. Thank you also for Hector, for Kuya Gilbert Lazaro, my daughter Spring. You know why Spring is here? Because I made a promise yesterday. I made a post on my Facebook account that today it will be the day I will be talking about Crash Landing on You and the K-drama universe. I finally succumbed. I have been invited by my wife and my daughters to watch K-dramas, and I have resisted for the longest time. But this past, 2 weeks, I finally gave in, and so I watched Crash Landing on You. So what are my thoughts on Crash Landing on You? I promised to tell you about Chloe today and the context under which it took place. Pag-uusapan po natin yan sa umagang ito. I also would like to congratulate businesses that have reopened. Ang ating mga kaibigan, sila mga taga Pampanga, I'm sure are happy with the reopening of the Villa Alfredo. It's one of the resorts there, and I would like to say hi, maayong buntag sa atong mga amigo diya sa Villa Alfredo. Tita Lynn and Tito Alain, congratulations. We wish you all the best, and may this reopening bring back business and fun there in your area in San Fernando, Pampanga. Napakahalaga pong magbalik ang mga negosyante para po ang ating mga empleyado ay magkaroon din po ng negosyo. And because we have a packed day today, as I will be talking about something really, really important, and that's the K-drama universe. And I'm sure many of you are watching out for that. So do invite your friends. If you haven't liked the YouTube channel, please go ahead and click subscribe there and click the bell button as well, so to get updates. And if you haven't really followed this page you're watching on, Marc Castrodes, the public page, please like. And if you wish for your friends to join us in this discussion today on K-drama and of course other things, other important things as well, please share this video and start your own watch party. All right? I'm hoping you're having coffee. I'd like to say thank you to my sponsor, Little Cakes Factory, for good coffee and good cheese bread. I'm having cheese bread today. Spanish bread pala, mali pala. Spanish bread o hindi pala cheese bread. Okay, let's begin with a review of what's in the news, my friends. Tingnan po natin kung ano ang, as always, we walk through some of the headlines of our big dailies. And so, let's check it out. What's in the news today with the Philippine Standard? Let's begin with Manila Standard, rather. You know, when I open this page of Manila Standard, I'm always invited to subscribe to it, meaning to subscribe to the actual printed paper. I wish I could get a copy of an actual printed paper because I like printed paper newspapers better than online copies. But I haven't seen Newsboys back yet. I wish they could be back soon so they could deliver me a printed page so I could show the printed paper to you. And a printed page has so much more into it than just the digital copy. So I'm wishing for that to be available very soon. And I'm sure if we avail of many more printed copies, we could also help our kababayan who work in the printing shops of these big dailies. Saying hi to our dear friend Shello. Hi Shello. Good morning also to the Rodriguez family. Hello Vince, Novi, and the kids. I'm hoping for a mayaman na masarap na blessed breakfast for all of our kids there. Okay, let's walk through the contents of Manila Standard, it says there PH stays under quarantine, and it also features there the number of COVID cases in the country. So napakahalaga pong bantayan yan. And the Manila Standard cover page also talks about the groups of jeepney operators and requesting for the government to allow them to ply the streets again, to go back in the streets kasi nga nagugutom na po sila. This is interesting that the Department of Transport rather is saying that the buses have been moving very smoothly, and it looks like government is really taking this opportunity to modernize the transport sector. According to Secretary Roque, the priority are the buses and the modern jeepneys, and they're testing it, and as soon as they see capacity of what we have currently, then they will slowly allow the traditional jeepneys to go back just to supplement. Well, the world has been reversed. Unlike before, you had the jeepneys and then the e-jeeps or the modern jeeps as supplement. Ngayon, naging baliktad na po under this new normal. The COVID cases in the Philippines keep rising. 1,150 new cases reported yesterday. You know, I checked this out and I was wondering, where is this coming from? Why are the cases going up? And when you look at the figures, it turns out that there are more cases in Region 7, and that's why we will be talking about it in a bit, because that's in the headline of the Philippine Star. Region 7 has the most number of cases, and NCR seems to be around that 150 to 200 cases daily. But what struck me, I'm not sure if it's the first time, but I certainly noticed it yesterday, that the number of cases in the other category, because there's NCR or Manila and then Metro Manila, and then you usually have Region 7 and then others. Yung others usually konti lang yun. But yesterday, napakarami ng others. What does that mean? Meaning, yung others po kasi is outside of Metro Manila and Region 7. Ibig sabihin, nasa ibang mga lugar, nasa sa ibang probinsya. Umabot na po sa maraming mga lugar sa Pilipinas. So I'm really asking everyone out there in the other provinces, please take this seriously. Please wear your face mask, and if you can, please just stay at home, because this is really dangerous if you allow this virus to spread in the other regions, because the capacity of the hospitals there are not as good as the capacity of the hospitals here in Metro Manila and Metro Cebu. Tingnan natin po itong comment ni Kuya Vincent Rodriguez. Sabi ni Kuya Vincent Rodriguez, increased cases of 20 to 40-year-old, but deaths are still for ages 60 to 70. So siguro, Kuya Vince, because people are going back to work, the 20 to 40 years old are exposing themselves to this virus, and that's why it's possible that they're catching this. But yes, the mortality rate is still manageable, and the critical levels are still very low, meaning konti lang yung talagang nagiging critical. But still, we're not taking this pandemic lightly. We're not taking this virus lightly. So sa aking mga kababayan sa ibang mga probinsya, please take care of yourselves. Mag-ingat po tayo para hindi po tayo madapuan nitong virus na ito. Let's proceed to the front page of the Philippine Star. What we have there in the Philippine Star, Rodi defends COVID team. Rodi still trusts Secretary Duque, but in that news report, he refers to the Ombudsman investigation. He says that if the Ombudsman calls on him, he will testify and defend Duque. However, in the same news article, Secretary Roque says that the president's statements should not affect the Ombudsman investigation. So that's typical of this administration. You have mixed messages, so it's up to you guys to interpret what's happening here. But apparently, Secretary Duque stays in office because the president continues to give his trust on the secretary. Another news article, DNR chief to oversee Cebu COVID response. Clearly, our friends from Cebu are really trying their best, but the president considered it best to send a secretary, cabinet level, to help oversee the situation there. Given that the cases have been increasing the past weeks, we really continue to pray. We tackled this in our episode 2 episodes ago, and that was already the headline there, and it lingers in the headline. So let's continue to pray and support our friends in Cebu. Watching from Pasay City, my Manoy Randy Campos. God bless you as you head back to your station, Kuya Randy. Enjoy your coffee and enjoy your cinnamon. I pray for good health as you resume. Kuya Randy Campos works for an airline company here in Southeast Asia, and he is a captain of an airline, and so he is clearly going to be exposed in the airports and traveling. So please keep safe, Kuya Randy. Hi to Daniela Eunice and Moraya Bien Castrodes. They're both watching. It's not normal for them to be watching, but you know why they're watching. They are excited for me to talk about Crash Landing on You, because if there are people you need to blame for my giving in, succumbing to the temptation to watch the Koreans do their drama, you can only blame Daniela and Moraya. What's your take on herd immunity? According to Jason Matias, herd immunity, my friend, I think is something that you cannot really risk, because herd immunity is ideal, but herd immunity, you can take the risk if your hospitals have the capacity to take in people who can get sick. But eventually, that's our wish, for it to have sufficiently infected people who have become healthy, and so it cannot spread no more, because it keeps bumping over around people who have already the resistance for it. So herd immunity is good, but we cannot risk it, and that's why the quarantine measures are still in place. Still in the Philippine Star's cover story, more modernized jeepneys are fielded today. It's really an opportunity for government to modernize this, but we pray for relief for our traditional jeepney operators and other bus operators or bus employees. Let's continue to support them. I don't know how. This is really a difficult situation, but while there's something really terrible happening because people are struggling, there's also something good that's happening. Hi to Faye Risonar Bello from Davao City, and also to my friend Clint Alimpoos. Maayong buntag kaninyo sa atong mga probinsyang Cebuano ang sinultihan diha sa Butuan, diha sa Davao. Good morning to everyone. Finally, let's move on to the Philippine Daily Inquirer. Sad headline for the Philippine Daily Inquirer: Cebu Pacific cuts more due to virus pinch. So they have decided to lay off not just the newly hired cabin crew, but even pilots and the more senior cabin crew members. But what's going to assure us is it explains that Cebu Pacific is undergoing a new stage, and they're trying to make sure that it continues to be viable in the coming years. According to the spokesperson Charo Logarta, it's all about long-term longevity. And so as these big businesses, it's not just Cebu Pacific, also Philippine Airlines and that ground servicing crew, or that servicing company that services the ground operations of our airports. They have also cut a significant number of jobs. But like I mentioned the last time, job cuts means that these companies are thinking of surviving, and as long as they don't close their doors, they will they could rehire. They could rehire these employees because it's hard to train new ones. So as they rehire these employees, babalik lang sila dun sa fresh tenure nila. Pero malamang marirehire din sila. Of course, in my family, there has to be justice and equality. Because I said hi to Danny and Spring, there will be a riot if I don't say hi to Caleb Miguel. Good morning, my dear son Migo. Thanks for watching, Dad, today. And Tita Mitzi Lazaro. Tita Mitzi is part of Yaya Go. So if you need, my friends, help in buying your groceries and your pamalengke, please click that image there. Mitzi Ivy Lazaro. She's with Yaya Go. But not just with Yaya Go, she's also with AdRush. AdRush makes acrylic covers of many shapes and sizes. So if you need your supply for your businesses para meron kayong acrylic barriers, go right ahead, contact Tita Mitzi. Hi to Ate Lizette Bamba. Good morning to our friends from Sun Life. What else do we have there in Cebu Pacific cuts more jobs. All right. Hurting jeep drivers, it's also the same as the news from the Philippine Star. Let's continue to pray for our country. Let's continue to pray for our businesses. Let's continue to pray for a breakthrough. What's our role? To those who are not safe, suffering, tipid. Tipid po tayo. Good morning to Andrea Vasily Gallardo. Good morning from Cavite. Magtipid po tayo, pero sa ating mga kababayan na meron pang trabaho, maraming savings. Ang aking mensahe po lagi, kung marami kang savings, pwede mong bawasan ng konti yung savings mo. Kung meron kang mga 3 milyon, hindi ka mamumulubi. Kung babawasan mo ng 1 million, anong gagawin mo sa 1 million? Gastusin mo doon sa mga negosyo na naniniwala ka. Doon sa mga negosyo na sa tingin mo dapat mag-survive. So patronize your favorite restaurants, patronize businesses that you believe need help. So kailangan po kasi ng mga mayayaman na bawasan yung kanilang savings para mabuhay yung iba. Yung mga may trabaho naman, kailangan nilang gumastos to spur economic activity. Hindi po solusyon ang pagtitipid para sa lahat. Solutions ang pagtitipid para sa mga nahihirapan. Pero sa mga regular ang trabaho kagaya ni Madam Andrea Vasily, if you want your latte, if you want your milk tea, please continue to buy Ma'am Andrea Vasily so that your milk tea shop and your favorite cafe will continue to do business. I'd like to say hi to the Medina family in Green Hills, my brother-in-law Vince, Ryan Girl Medina, and my sister Sui, and all of those who work for Kuya Vince, Manong Vince, Boss Vince in the many restaurants that he runs. Continue to patronize Maria's. It's open in Ortigas. It's also in Chef and Brewer in MOA, Chef and Brewer in Pasig. You also have the other restaurants of Tito Vince I will mention in the coming days. So that's it for the news today, my friends. I know you're excited for the next segment. What's the next segment? Let's talk about crash landing on you. Interesting, right? Crash landing on you is interesting because it has gripped so many homes and so many lives over the past how many months? And not just Crash Landing on You, including other K-dramas. Okay, what are my thoughts on Crash Landing on You? I will be talking about Crash Landing on You in a short while. Not in a short while. Okay, I'll talk about it now before I proceed to the more serious stuff. Why do I like Crash Landing on You? Why am I impressed? Okay. Here's a little context. I'm a literature major, so I studied plot development, character development, and I also worked as the vice chairman of MTRCB. Okay? So I know how to assess movies based on their impact to communities. Okay, let me share with you 5 things I like about Crash Landing on You. Are you ready? Okay. If you are excited for this discussion because you are also a fan of K-drama, please type mabuhay ang K-drama. Sige nga, I want to see a few mabuhay ang K-drama in my comment section before I start to talk about Chloe. If I don't see mabuhay ang K-drama, I will not talk about it. Sige nga, let me see if I can see mabuhay ang K-drama. Ayun na. Guess who wrote the first mabuhay ang K-drama? Trisha Castrodes. She tried her best to convince me to watch K-drama, but she needed the help of two other girls. Thanks, Tito Mark. Hi, you're welcome, Tita Mitzi. Okay, Danny says mabuhay ang K-drama. Tita Mitzi says mabuhay ang K-drama. Okay, let's talk about K-drama. Okay. Why? Tubig muna. Okay? Bakit napakagaling? Ayan, ang daming nagsabi mabuhay ang K-drama. Yes, mabuhay na ang K-drama. Excuse me. Bakit napakagaling ng Crash Landing on You? Number 1 point. Napakagaling nun dahil napakalaki ng kita nun. That's a huge financial success. Napakalaki ng negosyo ng Crash Landing on You. They showed it on Netflix, so people did not have to buy bootleg copies of Crash Landing on You. You did not have to download illegal copies. You're watching it on Netflix, so they've partnered with Netflix and earning a lot of money. Even after so many months of airing, people keep watching. I just caught it the past 2 weeks. Many have caught it much earlier. And it's a huge financial success. Bakit kamo? Mura lang gawin yun eh. Kasi yung mga set nila, pag tiningnan mo, they're not like period sets of Game of Thrones. They did not recreate olden times. They did not recreate castles. They did not recreate. These are simple sets, community sets, building, ganon. And the costumes were readily available in Korea. These are costumes people wear. Yung mga costume ng mga North Korean soldier, kitang-kita mo, bagong-bago eh. They did not even attempt to make it look old unlike the other period show. So meaning, hindi magastos yon. Pangalawang nakatipid sila, yung official soundtrack niya, yung kanta niya, that remember, it comes in at the perfect moment. It just plays at the right time. I don't recall the tune though, but it just plays at the right time. And you know why that is also part of the financial success? That tune is so powerful, but it was very cheap to make. It's just one person singing. Unlike, for example, the soundtrack of Star Wars, the soundtrack of Star Trek, the soundtrack of Game of Thrones, those are orchestral masterpieces. To create an orchestral masterpiece, to create an iconic sound, tan tan tadadadan, tan tadadadan, tan tadadadan, million po yun. To produce that kind of music, you would require a really good London Philharmonic Orchestra and hire a conductor, hire the best musicians, and not just that, you can't just shoot that in a cheap studio. You need a proper studio to shoot an orchestra. So, dun pa lang sa soundtrack ng Chloe, napakatipid na ng producers doon, and yet it was so effective. Timing lang. Pangatlo. Bakit hindi kailangan ng elaborate sets? Hindi kagaya 'di ba nung mga Game of Thrones, nung iba pang mga series na kailangan lang ng napaka-elaborate sets. Alam niyo, napakagaling nung technique ng Chloe. At hindi lang Chloe, malamang ibang K-drama din. Alam niyo, ito yung isang technique nila na napaka-effective, pero actually pagtitipid siya. Alam niyo kung ano 'yon? Yung kanilang camera shots. Yung camera shots ng Chloe, lagi siyang bokeh. Laging bokeh effect. Ibig sabihin, blurred lagi yung background. Anong kailangan mo kung bokeh effect? Ibig sabihin, blurred yung background. Kulay lang ng lights. Kulay ng lights sa likod. Kulay ng moon sa likod. Meron ka lang critical light sa likod. Pero binobokeh nila lahat. Yung tao lang ang nakikita. Kita nyo yon? And if you notice also, laging napakagaling nung lighting. Laging merong top light. So, yun yung aking point number 2. The shots, one is it's a financial success. Number two, Chloe has proven that you can make a really wonderful series just by the brilliance of the soundtrack, just by the brilliance of your lighting and camera angles. Kasi napakagaling you watch it again. Laging merong top light. Okay, if you know a little bit of, you know me, I worked with TV and I have researched this a bit. Ang pinaka-dramatic na shot na lighting sa movie, sa TV, or sa itong mga series, ang tinatawag na top light or hair light. Pag pinanood mo yung K-drama, tingnan nyo, laging nag-glow yung kanilang buhok. Laging may ilaw sa taas. So they have maximized the use of top lights, background light, bokeh effect, timing sa music. Ganun ang kan. So yun yung aking point number 2. Point number 3. Ito pinost ko sa aking Facebook page. Ang Game of Thrones napaka-gripping, for example, because the plot twists were just shocking. Compared to Chloe, for example, Game of Thrones would drive the plot by killing people. They killed Ned Stark. They killed Baratheon. They killed etc. etc. They killed the Mountain. Ang dami nilang pinatay to drive the plot, right? Si Chloe walang pinapatay. Meaning they don't drive the story by killing people or by shocking plot twists. Alam mo naman na medyo predictable yung pag makikita mo, mafe-feel mo, but they withhold enough. Ganito daw yan. Sabi nung mga literature experts, what makes for a good suspense? Good suspense is giving them just enough to be excited, but not too much, but also not too little. Alam nyo yun, just giving enough. Kasi if you give out too much of your plot's direction, mabobore sila. If you also give them too little, they will also feel frustrated. So they're just giving them enough. But what's wonderful with Chloe is they give you enough, you can actually predict the direction of it. But what you cannot predict, you know what you cannot predict? What you cannot predict is how brilliantly they will execute that moment. Shooting that moment, the camera angle, halimbawa, di ba? Yung, I can no longer take another step. Dun sila dun sa border. Yung patawid na si, what's the name of the girl? Si Seri. Tumawid na. Humakbang na dun sa barbed wire. Sabi ni Captain, hindi na siya pwedeng tumawid. Pack, camera angle, barbed wire, boots, pook, shoot, trees, stars. Anong noise spoilers? Daniela Eunice, this has been going on for ages. I can spoil. Okay. So, perfect yung how you execute the moment. So, the brilliance of the K-drama is not how they shock you with plot twists, but how they compose the moments. How they create those special moments that will really capture you. Okay. Ano yung aking favorite moments doon sa movie na yon? Moment. We're talking about moments. My favorite romantic moment, you know what my favorite romantic moment is? Okay lang ba to na ganito yung pinag-uusapan natin? Because Kuya Marc Your Day is supposed to be deep and meaningful and insightful. Dapat ganun yung mga discussion dito eh. But we're talking about K-drama. Is that okay? Is that okay, people? No spoilers. Si Daniela Eunice, Tita An Gallardo, pinapagalitan ako ni Daniela Eunice for spoiling. Ano ba to? Tigil ko na lang. Wag, tuloy natin. So what are my favorite moments? My favorite romantic moment is when Captain Rhee and Seri were talking about future right there in dun sa condo ni Seri. And they were shot sila ng shouju and they were talking about siya ba yung nagsabi na si Captain Rhee ba nagsabi na he wants twins and that they were dreaming of the future together, and then she made him promise that she will only drink at home and that she will not drink outside. So, I thought that was quite romantic. I thought that was quite romantic. The next one that I really liked was the moment between yung wiretapper, the guy they call the rat, the wiretapper, when he was talking with his wife and he was telling him about what his role in the death of Captain Ree's brother. No, Captain, tama ba? Captain Ree? Tama. So, kasi Seri and Captain Ree, it's just so confusing to me. So, that moment between the wife and the husband, I thought was really good. And so Danny asked me if I ever cried in the movie. I did not. I did not. Danny said that she cried when the con man died. I did not cry, but there was a moment there that almost made me cry. You know what moment? One of my favorite moments was when the boys said goodbye to Seri right there in the border before they headed back to North Korea. Because the bond between Captain Ree and Seri is, no, it's just a romantic bond. But the bond between Seri and the boys, I thought was really, really nice. Was really special. And how they were able to play that up was just so brilliant. So, I love that moment so much. Pang-ilang point ko na to? First point was it's a financial success. Number 2 point, the camera shots were brilliant. The lighting was brilliant. Number 3 are how they create scenes. Number 4, it's brilliant because they have managed to create characters that are just so adorable. The characters there are so adorable. The moms, I love the moms. The mom of Dan, the mom of Captain Ree, the mom of Seri, the moms, even the moms in the community, yung barkada doon ng mga babae. I love how they created the characters in a distinct way. I was in the first few episodes of the series, I said, how can you sustain a show for 16 episodes without really shocking plot twists? Aside from creating powerful moments that I mentioned earlier, the way you do that is you create subplots and build powerful characters or lovable characters, adorable characters, and I think they were able to do that. The characters are just adorable. The girls there in the community of Captain Ree in the military housing, just adorable. The moms were adorable. The mom of Dan and the brother of the tito of Dan, just adorable. You know what? I was even shocked by the quality of acting and the character of that NIS investigator. The investigator in the end, the guy who taught Captain Ree to do the text, the guy who was investigating Captain Ree. I loved him. You could see by his acting, he was looking all stern and an investigating. Imagine, he was the top investigator of South Korea assigned to investigate the son of this top North Korean leader. So he must have been the top investigator, but you could see by the way he acted, but that he understood. The acting was just brilliant. It was still stern, but you can see it in his eyes and you can see it the way he moves his head, that he understood that this is all about romance, that this is all about love, that this guy really loves this girl. And that's adorable. That's just adorable. Okay? So, I know I've been rattling off. Tingnan nga natin, what comments have I been receiving? I've been receiving, among all the shows I've done so far, this has the most number of comments. Okay, that's number 4. Number 5, last and final comment. You know why I love Chloe so much and why I believe I will not ban my children from watching K-dramas? Because, I used to be the vice chairman of MTRCB. Alam nyo ba na during the investigation of some of the shows on television that got suspended, I was part of it. So meaning I was part of those who tried to check what goes into our television. Yun po yung aking role dun sa MTRCB. I was parang the head investigator. I conducted the public hearings. So, ibig sabihin, I'm familiar with the ratings. G, PG, SPG, PG-13, PG-18. Yun, X. What I love about Chloe and maybe other K-dramas is it's mostly G. Chloe in particular, I would rate it G. Because in the 16 episodes that you watch, you don't even get a hint of anything sexually inappropriate. Wala siyang hint na ganon. Wala siyang hint na ganon. Lagi na lang face-to-face. Laging face-to-face. Face-to-face. Even if you would expect in a foreign film, in a Western film, even Filipino film, wala, maghahalikan na to. Sa K-drama, hindi maghahalikan. Magtititigan lang. Face-to-face lang. At luluha lang sa isang mata. Si Captain Lee, lagi lang parang merong nangingilid na luha all the time. It was G. In the entire 16 episodes, how many times did they kiss? Only very few times. And they did not even kiss yung wild kissing. These are just mild kissing from the standards of Western movies. That's why I love it, because it's G. Most Korean dramas have themes that are universal. Ibig sabihin, wala kang themes that are outright objectionable based on moral or ethical standards. Hindi mo kailangan maglagay ng mga tema na advokasya. Merong other platforms for your advocacy, but for general consumption movies that are for public entertainment and public good, napakaganda na you're highlighting the best in your culture. The food, the chicken, the scenery, love for family, love for a brother, love for a teammate, love for, alam mo yon, love for friends, loyalty, chivalry, giving up your safety for someone, to sacrificial love, yung mga ganong klase, service, empathy, yung mga ganon. Ibig sabihin, these themes are so powerful, you can create good movies out of them. Now, am I saying we should not have controversial themes in movies? There will be a place for that, but that should not be rated G. That should be rated PG. But if you want something that will be enjoyed by the general public, like on a TV show, that's my problem with local TV shows. They rate it G, SPG, but why do you put SPG in an afternoon show? Why do you rate SPG in a late afternoon? Those have no place on public television. It should be G. Public television should be G. Kaya mabuhay ang K-drama. Dahil si Chloe is an example of how a G movie can be so financially successful and yet so good. My friend said, meron nang nanood ng many times. Okay. Sobrang daming comments. My friends, I cannot go back anymore. Okay? So, that's it. Now, what did I say in my post yesterday? 8:39 by the way. Palakpakan po muna natin ang gumawa ng Chloe. Palakpakan po muna natin lahat ng artista dun sa Chloe. Palakpakan po natin ulit. Palakpakan po natin si Kuya Mark dahil nanonood ng Chloe. Walang palakpak eh. Alright, now, quickly, why do I say walang Chloe? Because last night when I made that post on Facebook, I said, there's no crash landing on you kung walang Pilipino. And then I was already in our bedroom. And then suddenly, somebody barged into our bedroom. Or no, in the TV room pala. Somebody, very stern, she says, "That's a bold statement, Dad." Mariah Bian read my post and says, "That's a pretty bold statement. Tell me about it." Sabi ko daw, bakit walang Chloe kung walang Pilipino? Sabi niya, "That's a pretty bold statement." I said, "I know, it's a pretty bold statement. That's why you have to watch the show tomorrow." That's why they're watching now, because they want me to justify, why are you saying there is no Chloe without Filipino? Some people might be saying there's no Chloe without Filipino because the Filipinos are the most number of viewers of Chloe around the world. Maybe not. Maybe other countries have viewed Cloy more than the Philippines. And for example, if Indonesia watched it and there are 300 million Indonesians, half of the Indonesians watch it. So they would have more people watching Cloy than the Philippines. So why did I say that the Cloy would not exist without the Philippines? Listen very carefully. Kids, this is for your history lesson and social study lesson. Okay, let's begin. Alam nyo, yung kwento ng North and South Korea, matagal na yan. Dati magkasama yan sila. They were together in one kingdom. They were one country under the Pare dynasty from 698 to 926 AD. And the Koryo period from 908 to 1392. I'm only talking about itong modern era, hindi na itong prehistoric times. And then the Joseon dynasty from 1392 to 1910. Magkasama yan sila under one kingdom. There were periods where they were divided into three kingdoms, but based on these three major periods, magkasama po yung North and South Korea. So wala pong Captain Ri and Seri because magkasama sila under one flag, under one kingdom. Now, after that, pumasok ngayon yung time after 1910, they were conquered by Japan. They were under the Japanese. They were a Japanese colony for many years. Actually, until when? Until World War II. So from 1910 until 1945, the entire Korean peninsula was controlled by the Japanese. Japanese territory. That's why if you observe yung Korean and Japanese habits, medyo very similar sila. And that's why they're saying that even during the World War II, many of the people who were sent over to the Philippines might have been Koreans. Okay? Yung mga sundalong pumunta dito. So, Japan, Korea, they were together for 35 years because Japan colonized Korea. After World War II, di ba, naggera yung Allied Forces, naggera yung mundo. Natalo ngayon nung US si Japan, hindi natatalo si natalo ngayon ng US si Japan. Ang critical battle noon is what you call the Battle of Midway. Natalo ng US yung naval forces ng yung mga barko ng Japan nung when they sunk the naval forces and then the Americans dropped the nuclear bombs, not nuclear bombs, the atomic bombs in Japan. Natalo ngayon yung Japan. Now, what happened to Korea? Natalo yung Japan and they were the colonizers of Korea. So, after the Japan conquered Korea, it became controlled by Russia and the US. Yung North, kontrolado yun ng Russia and China, at saka yung South, kontrolado ng Amerika. Gumawa, actually, di ba naririnig nyo yung 38th parallel. Yung line, yung yellow line na tinawiran ni Captain Ri at ni Seri, yung barbed wire, yung line na yan, demarcating North and South Korea, actually hindi Koreans ang gumawa. Ang gumawa, itong dalawang to. Yung Communist Russia and China at saka yung US, sila ang nag-usap, hindi man lang kinonsult ang mga Koreans. They divided the Korean peninsula into the North and the South. Okay? So, are you following the story? After that, are you following the story? After that, so nagkaroon na ngayon ng North Korea, officially called the People's Democratic Republic of Korea, na hindi naman talaga democratic because they're actually a communist country with medyo the term they use is cultic, following for their leader, yung Kim family. Naging parang hereditary na yung leadership ng Korea. Walang election sa North Korea, communist yung Korea, controlled by the family of the Kims. So yan po yung People's Democratic Republic of Korea or yung North Korea. Yung Kuya Mel Chan, yung tinatawag na DMZ, yan yung tinatawag na demilitarized zone, yan yung dinefine ng demilitarized daw. Walang militar. But actually, that's the heaviest militarized area in the world. Yan yung pinakamaraming sundalo coming from the North and the South. Dun sila. Pero merong portion lang dyan sa 38th parallel called the demilitarized zone. Dyan lang yung walang sundalo ng North at saka ng South. Okay? At doon nga nag-exchange yung, 'di ba yung final scene sa 60 episode, pumasok, may official turnover, nag-exchange sila ng prisoners ng North at saka South, in exchange nila doon sa demilitarized zone na yon or the DMZ na sabi ni Kuya Mel Chan. Pagkatapos po ng ang South Korea naman, ang tawag naman sa South Korea, ito po yung South Korea. Ang tawag South Korea ay just the Republic of Korea. Ang Republic of Korea used to be also led by a military power. After the mid-1950s until the 80s or late 80s, military ang control ng South Korea. Until nagka-election na lang sila in the early 80s. Naging democratic na. Kaya ngayon, democratic country na yung Korea. Now, why am I saying that walang crash landing on you kung wala ang Pilipinas? Dahil, are you ready for this? Palakpakan po muna natin ng mga Pilipino. Palakpakan natin ng mga Pilipino. Are you ready for this, my friends? Bakit walang crash landing on you kung walang Pilipino? Dahil in 1950, nagkaroon ng Korean War. Inatake ng North ang South. Sinakop ng North ang Seoul. Nasakop na nila yung Seoul. Yung Amerika lang yung may bantay sa Seoul at sa entire South Korea. Kakatapos lang ng World War II, Americans were not willing to wage war against Russia and against China. Hindi gusto ng Amerika na sila ang makikipaggera sa North Koreans at saka sa Chinese on behalf of the South Koreans. Hindi nila gera yon. So anong ginawa ng Amerika? Ang ginawa ng Amerika, eto yung ginawa ng Amerika. Ang ginawa ng Amerika, humingi ng tulong sa United Nations. So the United Nations formed a United Nations Command or the UNC. Nagtawag ng tulong ang United Nations sa buong mundo to help defend South Korea. And guess what? The first country to send a contingent to defend South Korea, tutulong kami para depensa ng South Korea. Palakpakan po natin ang Republika ng Pilipinas. Yes! First country to send a contingent to defend the Republic of Korea, the democratic part of the Korean Peninsula, ang Republic of the Philippines. Nung nandun yung mga Pilipino, dumating around 1951. Tawag sa Philippines ay PEFTOC, Philippine Expeditionary Force Korea. Basta PEFTOC. Team over to Korea. Basta hanapin nyo lang. PEFTOC team yon. So pagdating ng mga Pilipino doon sa Korea, one of their first assignments was to defend a town just across the 38th parallel. Just across the 38th parallel. Alam nyo, ito yung nga na-imagine ko habang nire-research ko ito. Alam nyo yung town kung saan nag-land yung si Seri pagkatapos niyang lumipad doon sa kanyang glider? Kung saan siya bumagsak, one of the first assignments of the Philippines was to clear that part. Kasi coming from the south, kailangan nilang mag-move up doon sa north. Okay? So yun yung clear ng Philippine contingent. One day pa lang, pagkarating pa lang ng Pilipino sa Korean Peninsula, napasabak agad sa giyera. And that battle was called the Battle of Yuldong. April 1951, the Battle of Yuldong. Ang tinatawag na battle na yon was very, very significant because that was what you call the first spring offensive. Yung first spring offensive was the biggest attack of the North Koreans together with the Chinese on the southern side. Ang North Koreans, napakarami. Yung first spring offensive, nagpadala 40,000 Chinese and North Korean soldiers. Nagpunta, paatake. So itong battle ng Yuldong, ito yung defensive line ng South Korea. At alam nyo kung sino ang nandun? Ang nandun sa Yuldong ay Pilipino. They were there sent to defend that, but they were shocked because they were attacked by 40,000 North Korean and Chinese. You know how many Filipinos? 900 Filipinos. 900 Filipinos versus 47,000 North Koreans and Chinese. 900 lang yung Pilipino. Sinabihan na kasi ng command yung ibang bansa, withdraw, retreat. The Filipinos got cut off. So for 2 days, Filipinos were the only ones fighting against 40,000. And the Filipinos were just not able to defend their line. They were even able to do a counter-offensive. 17,000 of the 40,000 died that day. Not those 2 days. Imagine ang napatay, 17,000 of the 40,000 died. You know how many Filipinos died? We lost around 200 people, including the commander, because he tried to save one of his people who was stuck there. Sabi niya, I will not leave. Hindi ko iiwanan ang aking kasama. So in that rescue mission by that Filipino commander, he lost his life. During the Korean War, the Filipinos actually saved South Korea. It saved South Korea from that major spring offensive in 1951. And because of that gallantry of the Filipinos, 2 of our Filipino soldiers got Medal of Valor during the Korean Wars. And the Koreans built a monument for the Philippines in South Korea. Napakagaling po ng mga Pilipino dahil gumawa po ng monumento ang South Korea. And to this very day, that monument is celebrated in South Korea. Look at that. Remembering the Peftok heroes who saved and sacrificed their lives in the Korean War. Memorial dedicated to the Philippine Armed Forces in the Korean War, South Korea. Taken April 25, 2011. This was the memorial that they built to honor the Filipino soldiers. They were called the Fighting Filipinos. 40,000 versus 900. Hindi biro yun, mga kaibigan. Hindi biro yun. How can you defend against 40,000 when there are only 900 of you? Iba kasi ang Pilipino. Palakpakan natin yun. Ibang-iba ang Pilipino. Sabi ni Kuya JV, baka puro si Cardo Dalisa yung pinadala doon, isa sa 900 na yon. So that's the gallantry of the Filipinos during the Korean War. That's why the Koreans really take it as an honor to be a friend to the Filipinos. That's why if you notice, napakaraming Pilipino dito. That's why when the Yolanda happened, napakarami nilang pinadalang tulong because actually, without the Filipinos there, those brave 900 Filipinos, by the way, the total of Filipino soldiers who went up to around 7,000. But for that particular, and kasama dun sa 7,000 si President Fidel Ramos, kasama dun sa contingent na yon, I see a former Senator Ninoy Aquino who was a reporter. He went there as a reporter, as an international correspondent. So napakarami pong mga Filipino heroes na tumulong po para depensahan ang South Korea. At bakit nasabi ni Kuya Mark na walang crash landing on you kung wala ang Pilipino? Bakit? Dahil wala sanang seri kung walang Pilipino. Kasi wala kang magiging South Korea. Puro ka North Korea. Kung ganon, baka ang napangasawa sana ni Kuya Captain Ri, siguro dapat nagkatuluyan sila nung si Dan. Di malungkot sana yun. Wala sanang captain, wala sanang seri. Hindi sana sila makakapunta doon sa Switzerland para doon sa napaka-climactic ending nila sa Switzerland. So ibig sabihin, ang role ng Pilipinas para mabuo itong South Korea, napakalaki. At kung walang South Korea, walang crash landing on you. Walang crash landing on you kasi walang DMZ, wala kang, hindi magiging maganda yung kwento. Kaya nagustuhan nyo ba yung kwento sa umagang ito? That's a wonderful discussion. I hope you learned something today. And let's end this day, 8:54. Let's talk about what's trending to end our day. All right, what's trending? Whew, that was tiring. Did you enjoy that? Thank you, Kuya Mel. So, what's trending before I end? What's trending today? Alam nyo, kahapon nabasa ko. May hangover pa ba kayo sa K-drama kwentuhan natin? Don't worry. Who knows? Diba, sabi nila, cross your fingers. Siyempre sila, Trisha and some friends have been inviting me to watch another K-drama, but I don't see myself watching another one, but who knows? If I already gave in, kumbaga, Wala na, nabahiran ka na eh. Nabahiran ka na. Kapag nabahiran ka na, wala na, tuloy-tuloy na yan. Ewan ko lang. Good job, Dada. Thanks, Sprinky. Okay, so what's trending? Actually, in the news, what's trending, and they continue to talk about it, yung petition for co-warranto ni Secretary Calida against ABS-CBN, dininay ng Supreme Court, na-dismiss ng Supreme Court. Sabi ng Supreme Court, hindi na kailangan pag-usapan yung co-warranto. At ano yung ground ng Supreme Court para i-dismiss yung co-warranto case ni Secretary Calida, ng ating Solicitor General? Ang ground ng Supreme Court, this is already moot and academic. Ano pong ibig sabihin ng pagiging moot and academic ng isang kaso? Kasi ang Supreme Court ay pwede lang mag-rule kung meron kang actual case or controversy. Ibig sabihin, according to the Supreme Court, ang sa Constitution ng Pilipinas, the Supreme Court will not have a basis to act kung wala naman talagang kaso. Now, bakit walang kaso sa sitwasyon na ito? Because the co-warranto seeks to question the franchise of ABS-CBN. Nung dininig siya ng Supreme Court, wala nang franchise ang ABS-CBN, nag-lapse na. Yung end kasi ng Supreme Court is there should be a relief. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng merong ibigay na, ano bang relief? There should be a resolution of the case. Wala na magiging resolution. Dahil, kasi for example, i-grant ng Supreme Court yung co-warranto. Ano gagawin ng Supreme Court? Ika-cancel niya yung franchise. Ano pang ika-cancel ng Supreme Court? Na-cancel na nga dahil nag-expire na. So, that's why you're saying it's going to be academic. Moot, dahil hindi na siya, wala na siyang silbi. Academic, meaning kung didesisyonan nito ng Supreme Court, magiging kwentuhan na lang ito. At ang Supreme Court ng Pilipinas is not there para makipagkwentuhan lamang. It's supposed to rule upon an actual case or controversy and give relief to an actual case or tao or institusyon na kailangan mabigyan ng relief dun sa kanyang hinihinging tulong sa ating Korte Suprema. So, importante pong maintindihan natin na ang ating Supreme Court ay kailangan either kung ang bagay na yan ay nasa legislature na, kagaya nitong case ng ABS-CBN, ang lehislatura o ang kongreso ang dapat magdesisyon yan, hindi ang Supreme Court. Kung ang bagay naman ito ay para sa executive na kanyang dapat i-execute o hindi, prerogative ng executive branch, ng presidente, hindi rin makikialam ang Supreme Court. At kung ang bagay na dinulog mo sa Supreme Court ay wala naman talagang kaso kasi posibleng hindi pa nangyari or wala nang mangyayari dahil na-cancel na yung case, then hindi na magiging relevant. At hindi pwedeng hindi relevant ang ating Korte Suprema. So that's the discussion for today, my friends. Moot and academic na yung co-warranto dahil na-cancel na yung franchise ng ABS-CBN. And we went into a long discussion about Chloe. It's a brilliant production. It made a lot of money. The camera angles were good. It's PG. The characters were developed very well. They sustained it. It's a huge success. I don't think it's easy to copy that even after all these attempts to at least match the quality of that. We also need to pray for our friends and countrymen in Cebu and our jeepney drivers who are suffering. But I hope the DOTR could modernize our transport sector during this season. Okay, kaya napakahalaga pong maniwala na there's going to be better days ahead. Kagaya ni Captain Rian Seri, hindi sila nawalan ng pag-asa. That's why let's end this with this wonderful word. Let us not become weary in doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Diba si Captain Ri nagtanim ng tomato, si Seri nagtanim ng Edelweiss. Hindi dapat tayo mawalan ng pag-asa even during this COVID, even during this pandemic. Let us not become weary of doing good. For at the proper time, we will reap the harvest if we do not give up. Sabi ng ating economists, babawi ang Pilipinas next year. 7.2 growth if we do not give up. Kapit lang mga kababayan. This is your Wednesday episode of Marc Your Day. Catch me again on Friday. Please head over to the YouTube channel. Click subscribe, the bell button, like that. Share this to all your friends, the K-drama fans, if they want to understand the geopolitical context of that controversy. Hope to see you again on Friday. Stay safe. God bless.